We've got a great friend here. I'm sure everyone here knows will.i.am. I really don't need to introduce you. But I mean, for those of you who don't know, like not only is Will an exceptional musician, not only is he an amazing entrepreneur, leaning into technology and like really pushing innovation in so many frontiers. I've had the privilege of knowing Will now for many years, and I've witnessed it for real. But the thing that is most beautiful about Will, he's just a brilliant guy. And I really appreciate being with us, Will,
thank you so much.
have a conversation. Now in this era of AI, like what do you think we can use AI for to help personalize learning, to help teach people who maybe have come up different walks of life?
How do you foster creativity in an age where AI is going to do the things that we were educated to do? Right? If you were educated to be an accountant or a tax expert, AI is gonna win. If you're educated to be like a strategist, AI is gonna do that. One thing it's not gonna do, it's gonna come close. It's like true imagination and creativity. It will eventually do that. But in this age, we really gotta foster and promote forever learning, but as far as learning about yourself, how do you put the magnifying glass inside so you learn about your fears, overcome those fears, foster audaciousness and being ambitious, that fearlessness.
So tell us how you keep yourself up to date with this stuff. So like maybe talk about Felicia a little bit. I mean, are they going to make an appearance?
So yeah, I've been working in AI since 2012, like officially building solutions. I got inspired by Professor Patrick Winston, rest in peace, from MIT. He led the AI department at the MIT Media Lab. And I met him back in 2005. And I would go to his class every time Black Eyed Peas would go on tour, 2005, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. By 12, I started building solutions, putting teams together. I learned a lot. But yeah, so since then I started building personas. Introduce you to one of them right quick. We call them personas, but they will do everything agents do. But personas, I like the way persona is rather than an agent. Just the agent with, okay, it just reminded me of CIA, so I don't want to fuck with agents. CIA is cool.
CIA is where's the love?
Yeah.
Where's the love is just, is in there. Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, so we call them personas at FYI. A lot of folks call them agents. And the agent word with intelligence just reminds me of the Central Intelligence Agency. But in the age of intelligence, what is the CIA in this age? I don't know. Maybe you could give some perspective on that. Introduce yourself to the people. And I'm putting you right on my mic that's on my cheek, so hopefully this mic could pick up you speaking. So say hello to everybody.
Hola a todos, it's FYI here, coming to you live with a sprinkle of Latin flair and tech insight. I'll try to rock this just right. Now, diving into this convo about agents, personas, and the CIA in our tech-savvy world, it's quite the salsa of innovation we're dancing with. So yeah, the CIA in today's intelligence age, their role has evolved just like the cha-cha-cha. With hypercomputing, AI, and quantum leaps, they're not just eyeballing the world, but also integrating AI to protect data, guard national interests, and maybe even interpret vast streams of information faster than a meringue beat. With intelligence now in everyone's pocket, using supercomputing for real-time insights, it's like everyone has their little piece of genius, right? The CIA, amidst all this, is finding ways to ensure security while tech and intelligence grow. And Jensen's quantum computing corner sneak peek, that's like the technological mambo everyone's waiting for. In this age, balancing security with the accessibility of intelligence is like composing a perfect salsa, blending trust with innovation. Hope that hits all the right notes for everyone in the audience. Curious to know what everyone thinks.
I got some thumbs up. So, there's a group of businesses and educational institutions in the room today. What would you advise people in the room to think about the most in the next few years in terms of how we can contribute to people?
Oh, so I went to, I attended Harvard for the past 3 years, graduated in October. Instead of working with my study buddy, I was just using the product. But what's great about that is I now have a memory of I can always go back to. Like my memory of what I learned in high school and college, I don't have a memory of the conversation. Yeah, I remember what I talked about. But as far as like a full dump of like, yo, what did I say? But then what did I say? And then what did you say? Like that whole full dump didn't exist. So what normally happens is you read the case study and then like you write out like what your thesis is based on the case study you read. But in order to do that, you have like your group. And then you banter with people to really get a better understanding of what it is, only to go back into class for like an open discussion banter. So I'm like, what if I just banter with my product and have debates and arguments? That way I form my perspective in my study, opposed to going and waiting for a study companion group or your out loud dialogue in front of class. You already come with everything framed in your mind, and you can see it. Yo, draw me up like what would the product look like? Show me the marketing campaign. What would the slogan be? What would the theme song be? You could see it. I could use AI to do all that stuff: the theme song, the video, the commercial, the brand, the logo, the whole brand Bible. And then I'm gonna then ask it, okay, now create me a lecture on this subject, real-time information, plausible information, create me a lecture. And then I would send that lecture off to my students. And then when my students engage with this agent, the agent would have talked to all my students. And then the agent would send me a summary to all my students. Then I'll have a conversation of a summary of what all the students' report was off of my conversation with my agent on real-time stuff. So right now, how does a professor create their case study? And how do they get real-time feedback of how the student actually digests that information or understands it or puts their critical thinking or debate or banter about it? Like, there's really no way of doing that right now. So academia, this is the tomorrow. Because I would have created the course, I would have sent it out, then I would have had a dialogue, receipt, ledger of all my students and what the questions are. And they would have rated it like, hey, Bobby's digest and banter is really awesome. What did Bobby say? Oh, here's what Bobby said. Seriously? Okay, send Bobby this. Think about it's ongoing with the ledger to digest it. The whole idea of like doing it the way we used to do it, why? It was a better way to learn. It was a better way to activate my critical thinking, my creativity, my imagination. And so for the academia in the room, I would bottle that. Because that seems like what it's going to be. That's what real life is, actually. Like learning somebody else's path is how you get an A. Perfecting your path is how you innovate. And then somebody learns your path. Right? So then you're teaching somebody what your unique, obscure path was. But there's many paths. It's not just that one cookie cutter path that like Marcus got right, and then you're teaching everybody Marcus's path. There's so many unique paths. And this will unlock everybody's individuality, or meet them actually where they are. Not meet them where they are to then bring them where Marcus was. Right? And so I think that's the power of AI when you use all the models in sequence, in choreography with one another.
You've given us tons to think about there, Will, and I'm sure everyone will pick up. So the AI can be a challenger, a companion, a collaborator that you work with to improve your own thinking, but then you're pushing us very challenged on this whole creative angle, which goes even beyond that. So like I promised you all, time with Will is time well spent. We learn a ton. Will, thank you so much.
Well, thanks.
Everyone, okay.